From one sports entrepreneur to another, Rich Kleiman is here on September 10th. CNBC and Boardroom are teaming up for the second annual Game Plan Summit in L.A. It's going to be featuring a whole bunch of speakers, including Evan Spiegel from Snap, Jessica Alba, Kevin Durant, and so many more. And Rich is here from Boardroom, co-founder and CEO at the table. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
thanks for having me.
You want to weigh in on the campaign, like Mark, while you're here?
Mark said. I couldn't hear anything.
No,
did you not have?
I didn't hear a thing. I only saw your guys' reactions.
Maybe you.
That's got to be so weird.
Let me ask you just about where we are in sports. The last time we saw you was in Paris.
Yep.
I don't think I had seen you after the USA basketball team won. But your reaction to just what's happening right now in terms of what happened at the Olympics. I saw you, I think, at the U.S. Open this week. It just feels like there's something happening here in the world of sports.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably the one safe space for all of us. As we come off a conversation like you guys just had, I think it was clear the Olympics really struck a chord in all of us. I think there was something amazing seeing these athletes come together. And it's happened every 4 years, and obviously we're all accustomed to it. But in Tokyo, we had COVID. And 4 years earlier in Rio, I just don't think it maybe impacted the way it did. Paris was an incredible host city, but just seeing, the athletes that the basketball team had come together the way they did, which is interesting to see superstars of that caliber play in the same kind of democratized environment that the rest of these athletes did. It was just an incredible time. And what's happening at the U.S. Open right now is special. I mean, I've been there twice already. I'm going tonight. I think the excitement there is unlike anything I've seen in New York in a long time.
So one of the things that I think is fascinating the last year, and I think it's something that actually Boardroom sort of tapped into early, was this confluence of sports and culture, which is to say, obviously, Taylor Swift became a huge part of the NFL. There's now some controversy even happening now about this new campaign that the NFL is doing with her or involving her. But, you look at the U.S. Open, everybody in the audience is a celebrity, a musician, this or that. Same thing happened at the Olympics this summer. And just how you think that is shifting even just the way the culture is around sport.
I think the modern day sports fan is compelled by everything off the field, off the court, as much as they once were on the field and on the court. And I think you don't have to be necessarily glued in to the stats and the scores and even the stakes at hand. It's the environment and the community around sports. And it's really become, I think, the hotbed for the convergence of culture in general.
Right. But what do you think? I'm thinking of like the Kelsey Brothers and just thinking of like, now it was very rare where you had an athlete who, and by the way, Kevin Durant was doing it too, right? Has a podcast while he's, during the season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of a very unusual thing where people have become sort of, it's not just that they're athletes, they're also media stars during the season. And it used to be people had to go shoot a commercial here or there for a sponsor. But this is like a whole other different level.
It is, but it's also evolution. I mean, social media played a part in it early. These are also some of the most astute young business minds that you'll meet. And we've talked about this a lot. I mean, that was thesis around Boardroom in a lot of ways. Is these athletes starting at 14, 15, 16 years old are making decisions about their career, about who they want in their corner, who's going to manage their money. And they've seen people like LeBron James and Serena Williams build these empires and enterprises. So they're coming into the world knowing that that's part of the equation. That's something that comes with being a professional athlete if you want it. And a lot of them want it. And they have these major fan bases and these major communities, and they have the ability to directly speak to them. And now they've seen that with that kind of access, they can build business and build opportunity. And it's incredible, I think. And I think there's more influence coming from the world of sports right now on all of culture than any other sector.
How much of it is because of the social media impact? You just said a lot of them have their followings. They can speak directly to them. Is this a new world because of that social media impact?
I think social media has impacted everything for good and for bad in our world. But in the ways that it's impacted good, I think you see it in sports and you see it in the opportunities that all of us now know are available. And I think just that access has been the difference maker. I mean, you didn't really know what was behind the curtain for Michael Jordan's business. You didn't even know how to attain it. You didn't know how to get it. But Kevin, LeBron, Steph, Tom Brady, Serena Williams, Coco Gauff, we see what they're building. We see how they're building it.
Do you think it just is about the stars, though? Or do you think that it goes farther down? I mean, it used to be, you look at Michael Jordan, clearly has a huge business. Magic Johnson, huge business. But it wasn't, just the sheer number of athletes having success in the business world didn't exist the same way.
No, well, because it used to be that you had to be a super celebrity and that famous as well as successful on the court. But with the amount of money that these men and women are making, if they have that mindset and they have that desire and they have this audience and community and the access, the amount of people that want athletes around is incredible. So if they want it, there's a version of that for all of them. There's a version of what they want to do, what family office they want to build for all of them. You don't have to be LeBron James to build this empire for yourself.
What's the most exciting thing that you're expecting next week? Because I'm going to be out there in LA with you.
I'm excited for the Olympic conversation. I mean, I think coming off of Paris, I really paid attention to what has to come into play for a city to make all of this work. And obviously, LA will be a challenge. So having the mayor of LA there and having Casey there and having Jessica Alba, who's sitting on the committee for Casey for LA Olympics, and Grant Hill, who played such a big part in what the basketball world means to the Olympics. I think I'm really excited to hear about what they're going to do infrastructure-wise. I've heard that they want cars off the road. I've heard that they want people to stay home and work for those 3 weeks.
I think the venues are going to be closer. You can actually get around like a real village. More to that feeling was what Casey said.
I think we need everybody there next week to answer that question. Yeah. And obviously my keynote with Rich Paul I think will be exciting. I mean, I just listened to his audio book over the last 2 weeks, and his story is exceptional. So being able to really speak to him, someone I've known for 20 years, and just to ask him questions about his rise, it's just been incredible. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing time.